this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here with a few bits of paper here, and I thought let's make some what I would call kind of like pocket fillers, or you know, yeah, kind of journal filler type pieces. So using kind of printables here, and I've got a mixture of things like tickets, I've got full sheets of paper, I've got you know, some pictures and things like that. And yeah, basically just kind of putting them together in a way that would be really nice to kind of fill our pockets and things like that in our journals. So just some fun kind of like, you know, clip together type pieces. So I have printed all of these on, it's 110 GSM, you know, paper, and I have, coffee dyed all of it. So it's all been coffee dyed and it's all been, ironed. Haven't made the best job of ironing it, you can probably tell. So yeah, let's just kind of get cutting some bits out. So I'm just going to kind of mix some things in. We may put some bits of original ephemera in as well. We'll kind of see how we get on. But just kind of, yeah, making some pretty bits that will all be ready then to just have, you know, ready-made pieces to put into pockets, basically. So from paper elements, because quite often, obviously, we make things like journal cards, you know, from more like cardstock. And I thought, let's just make some, you know, some nice paper elements to go into our junk journals. So just cut some of these bits out. And these tickets, these are the tickets from my Junk Journal Basics Kit 2. As are the photo, well, they're not photos, I think they're like engravings. They are also from the Junk Journal Basics Kit 2. And then the papers that I'm going to be using, I'll kind of say as we go. So, and, you know, I say all this all the time, but, you know, I just kind of mention what I'm using because lots of people do ask me to, you know, say the kits and things that I'm using. So I'm trying to make a conscious effort to really mention which papers I'm using each time. There are times when obviously I forget to do it, or I forget what kit they're from. So yeah, but providing I don't, then I will try and obviously mention the kits. So these also, these little oh gosh, what do they call these? Oh, the print card engraving things. They are also from the Junk Journal Basics Kit 2. You get very similar in the Junk Journal Basics Kit 1, but these are blue in colour. Obviously, they're slightly muted now because they've been coffee dyed. But yeah, just to kind of, yeah, share basically what they're from. So I've got this as well. Now, these are from that craft coloured pack. These are available on my shabbydabbydoodah.co.uk website. I think you get 60 of these little pieces of paper. Absolutely love them. And they're just so perfect for when you're clipping things together. So yeah, really, really enjoy using those. Now this one here, this is from my French collection papers. And this particular page is perfect for, again, cutting down individual kind of elements and then making, you know, like bunched up pieces. So like little scrap bundles, basically, we're making here, scrap bundles. So I'm just going to take that one down there. And that gives us, you know, this as well that we can use, obviously, somewhere else. So, for instance, this I'm just going to take, and then I'll just take a portion from here. And what I might do is just tear it across here. Like that. So that we've got, you know, layers that are stacked, basically. So for this one, I'm going to just take this, just cut that blue edge off. Okay, like that. And we can just then staple that in as well. And then anything else which, you know, might look good. So I've got some tickets here. These also, I've got these tickets also on my website. This is another portion of that craft, you know, the craft papers that are on my website. So, and all the physical things, so like the craft papers, they tend to be on my shabbydabbydoodah.co.uk website. And digis tend to be at the moment on my Etsy, but I am going to be working on, you know, putting them across onto the website as well. It's just kind of time, you know, yeah, kind of having time to do it, basically. So I'm going to put that there. And then I've also got some of my labels. So these also are from as well, the Junk Journal Basics Kit 2. So, and you know, ordinarily I would print labels out really on more like card rather than paper. But for this, I've printed them on the paper, and I think it's quite nice to have like textured pieces like this. So just, whoops, just going to pop those on like that. And then all I'm going to do is staple them together, the whole bunch together. Oops, just need to mind I don't knock it all on the floor. So just staple them at the top. I absolutely love how these little bundles look. They're just so cute, aren't they? You know, really, really pretty with all the different, you know, colours and kind of bits of paper, really. So I'm just going to just see what this would look like. It will probably look rubbish, but let's just try it. I mean, it might not even be the right colour, really, but... Oh, I quite like it, actually. I'm not even saying it is the right colour, but for some reason it's kind of, you know, complementary rather than, you know, rather than being the right colour, but it does complement it, doesn't it? So, yeah, that's that one. So how gorgeous does that look? Okay, and like I say, they have got this great texture as well, which is really, really, really fun. So this one here, now this is from my birds collection papers. So again, from the collection papers. Now, again, wondering, do we want to take this down and kind of like cut it into sections, you know, which is really nice to do, or shall we kind of like, you know, do something like kind of fold it up and keep the piece of paper in its entirety? Actually, do you know, I think I'm going to do it in, yeah, in sections. So we've got this section here, so I'm just going to take that down there like that, okay, and then just across here. Okie dokie. Yeah, so I'm going to have it that way, I think. So making like a little scrappy bundle, just like we did just now. But obviously it's going to be, you know, a much bigger one. So got those bits, and what else have I got here? Got some bigger pieces from those craft papers. So this one, obviously, I'm just not going to cut it down. Now, I am going to tear this edge just because I quite like the look of the torn edges. I think they look pretty. So, yeah, we'll just tear the edge of that. Okay. And then might just take this little section here. I love these kind of patchwork papers because they're just ideal for, you know, clumping together. You know, you can be quite... eclectic with how you use them, I think. So this one, obviously I'm trying to keep that bird on there, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take it down so to make it narrower like that. Okay, and all of these are plain on the back, so you know, if you were wondering, oh well, what's she going to do with that, they're all plain on the back, so they're all kind of going to be fine for journaling, you know, which is great, isn't it? So this one, I'm going to put this right over here so as you can still see that bird there. And then what I'm going to do is actually trim it down probably. So just taking that now, I've got some of those little tickets and things. So I've got this one, which, yeah, maybe we'll have something like this. And then I'm just going to take one of those labels. Perhaps we'll have a black one, you know, for a bit of contrast. I hope everyone's having a great day. I hope you're all managing to do some crafting, having a nice time. It's really chilly here this morning. And I'm just going to say this, and I say it all the time, but I do feel my head. So if I'm, you know, putting this out on a day that's gorgeous sunshine and it's the summer, you know, it's because I filmed this ahead. So today it's okay. It's quite grey, quite overcast. But yeah, I mean, hopefully it's going to improve later. But at the moment, it's not all that warm. So I've just come back from the school run and I'm feeling chilly so far. But I mean, who knows? Maybe as the day goes by, it will get warmer and improve. I don't know. I hope it will. So just trimming that down there to make it slightly kind of more, you know, in sync size-wise. And then this grey ribbon again, lace. It's just kind of laying around. So I'm just wondering whether I might have this, instead of kind of up the top, covering up the staple, although that does look pretty, maybe have some here, or maybe actually here. So I know I did cut that down into, not cut it down, tore it down so it's got the torn edge, but actually I'm just going to cover that with the lace. Not because I don't like it, because I do like it, but just because actually that lace looks really pretty. So yep, like that. And what have I done with my scissors there? Okay, so we just cut that one down like that. Oops. Okay. And then up here I'm just going to put just a little dab of hot glue, and I'm going to have the kind of matching lace up there as well, because it looks really pretty. So like that. Okay, and just trim that down. I mean, how gorgeous is that for just a little bunch? And you know, I mean, I'm saying that these are going to be like pocket stuffers. They don't have to be pocket stuffers. Obviously you could use these you know, stuck on a page, glued onto a page, or paper clipped onto a page, something like that. You know, you don't have to use them as pocket stuffers. I'm kind of just calling them that because I thought that would be, you know, a fun way to use these. But to be honest, I can see that actually they'd be pretty nice, you know, just actually glued onto a page as more like a sort of flippy pad. Now this one, obviously, again, my birds would be kind of sideways on. I don't mind that personally, so I'm going to do that with this one. And then here I've got that other piece of paper, so we can have that at the top. We're not covering up any birds or anything, so that's all fine. Just going to trim that top down. So yep, that will go here. Now see what else we've got. So we've got the rest of that craft coloured paper, the bit that we tore off, so we could include that, I suppose, although to be honest it's not really, you know, it's not the most exciting piece of paper. Now I have got some other coloured pieces here, so we could, you know, mix some colour in. I mean, that does look quite pretty, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, that does look pretty. Yeah, I quite like it. So, probably over there. Just also trying to keep that bird visible, just like in the last one. I don't want to just cover him up completely. So, let's just take this ticket down here. And these browns. These tickets are brilliant, you know, colours, because they're just very basic. I mean, other than you've got a handful of blue ones, most of them are sort of beigey colour, which, you know, pretty much go with most things, don't they? So, okay. Like that. Oh my goodness, how yummy does that look? Oh, just want to not cover that bird up, so let me just move over slightly. Yeah, more like that. Now, do we want to put her in there? I mean, then we are covering up the bird. However, I do quite like it. No, let's not cover up the bird there. So, yeah, let's keep this, you know, like this. So, just again, staple that in. Just see, I mean, this lace is just laying around on the desk, but weirdly, it seems to have looked really good with everything I've put it with so far. I mean, I don't mind it even on that, to be honest. So, well, actually, no, let's keep this one, you know, more neutral, I think. So, yeah, let's keep it more neutral. Now, I'm just wondering, because I've got some of my rosebud trim. I mean, I'm like, oh, let's keep it neutral. And now I've pulled in the rosebud trim. But because we've got that pink on there, so that actually looks quite pretty, doesn't it? And complements it quite nicely. So, yeah, let's put that on there. So another little pocket stuffer there. So let's do something with this photo now. Not photo, I must stop calling them photos. I don't know why I'm always tempted to call them that, but they're engravings. Yeah, they're engravings. So I'm just going to tear this down, you know, just because I like that look of those torn edges, you know. So like that. Now, should we mix this up and put this with a colour? Or I've got sort of more neutrally pieces here from the William Morris, which, oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? Yeah, I love how that looks. So let's pop that like this. So I'm just going to then, yeah, cut that down there. Like that, okay. Now, as you can see, I've damaged this a little bit with the iron. You know, that kind of thing just happens if you iron your paper before it's dry. You know, when you've coffee dyed it, it kind of like damages the paper a little bit. But it's fine because that's going to be up on this stamped, you know, the stamped corner. So it's, you know, it's not really going to be kind of too visible, to be honest. Now, just decide what piece do we want on this. I mean, that's quite nice there. And then what we could do is also add another ticket as well. So now, should we go for a brown or a black one? Let's have a look. Again, because I'm just thinking maybe the black would be quite nice for contrast. Or I've got this one, which maybe is kind of cross between the two. Oh yeah, loving how that one looks already. Okay, so just cut this one down. Yeah, I just really like the tactile kind of quality of these types of things, to be honest. They're, you know, really nice to kind of touch and hold, aren't they? Okay. Oops. There we go. So, yeah, like that. And again, just staple. You know, I mean, I really love using staples, and I know they're not everybody's thing, but for me, I just really do like using the staples. I think that, you know, I don't mind the look of even just the staple not covered up. But yeah, I do realise they're not kind of everybody's thing. Now I've got this slightly different grey lace here. So I'm just going to take this down like that. And just, I think, put that across the top. Now, also you could ink this up and then it would obviously look more sort of brown rather than grey. I don't even know if I'm going to bother because I actually quite like it looking grey on here. I think that looks quite pretty, but yeah, I guess that would be an option. I don't want to really kind of have that same size because it looks very obvious that it was the other part that I cut off. So I'm just going to take this. Again, just cut this kind of in half. Okay. We'll just see whether we want to have that there. I mean, that looks quite pretty, doesn't it? So, yeah. And I'm just gluing this on with my, you know, Anita's tacky glue. So, like that. Oh, my goodness. How yummy and gorgeous is that? Looks lovely, doesn't it? So, that's that one. Now, other pieces that I've got. So, I've got this one here. This is from my Botanical collection. So yeah, let's do a couple of really pretty colourful ones, shall we? So I'm trying to decide how to use this. So should we take this section down first? You know, because I'm just using portions of this. I'm not using the entire thing. I am just, you know, taking little portions of it. Which, I mean, then one sheet, you're going to get a lot of pieces out of just one sheet. And, you know, I'm not doing that, you know, being sort of mean and stingy, trying to get as many pieces out of one sheet. I just mean, you know, to make them a sort of good size for sort of stuffing into pockets and things, they just coincidentally, you will get, you know, a lot of pieces from that one sheet. Now, I've got this piece here with the nests and eggs. I love that nests and eggs, I don't know, poster or, you know, this piece of ephemera. You see it quite often, don't you? And yeah, I mean, it's been around for years and years in kind of junk journaling and scrapbooking and things, but it's really a lovely piece. And it, yeah, just really one of my favourites, I think. No, not going to go for that. Now, do we want to mix the Botanicals with the William Morris? I mean, that does look good, doesn't it? Weird, because, you know, I never would have actually thought to really put those two together, but my goodness, that does look lovely. So let's tear this down. like that. Okay, so I'm not sure whether this is very wonky, but anyway, I'm going to just, yeah, put that there. Just going to cut that down like that. Okay, and then just, yeah, take that down here. Okay, and then now just, I mean, if we're going kind of, you know, really eclectic, we could, you know, we could really mix it up and be very eclectic and have something like this on there as well. I'm not sure that really goes, to be honest. Yeah, I wanted to be really brave and do something really out there, but I mean, sometimes you can kind of, you know, be too brave and it just then looks awful. So that was what was going on there. Just ended up looking awful. I have got that ticket. No, it's got kind of blues in it. So yeah, not that one. But we've got some other tickets on here. So should we take, let's take this one. So these are the same as the tickets that I sell individually, but they are a different sort of colourway to them. So these tickets, you know, they are for sale separately, not in the Junk Journal Basics Kit 2, but they are a different colourway. So yeah, either if you're thinking, oh, they look familiar, you know, or maybe you don't want to buy the whole Junk Journal Basics Kit 2, I've got these same tickets but different colours. You know, it's a different kind of upload. Right, so quite liking that. Now I'm now wondering whether we could pull in another little section from this Botanical paper and just have that kind of like hanging down. So I'm just going to take this here and let's just like tear this off, because that would really tie it all in, wouldn't it? Yeah, maybe something like that. Oh, what happened to that brown label there? And then this label. So, I mean, we've gone much more colourful, haven't we, for this piece? You know, and eclectic, because we've mixed in some different colours here, which is really fun. Oh, it's getting really chilly now. This is what happens, you know, I come back from the school run and I'm kind of like warm from the school run. And then, you know, as the day goes, or not the day, but, you know, the morning goes by, I start getting quite chilly. Because, you know, it's cold when you're just sat down crafting, isn't it? I mean, it's not like you're moving around, really. Other than the movement of your arm every now and then, trying to reach across and get something. You know, you're not kind of building up much of a sweat there, are you? Okay, right, so just going to, oops, staple that in. I had a lot of different bits there, which kind of, yeah, were at risk of not getting clamped in the staple, but yeah, they have been now. So that's like that, and then just see, I mean, isn't this grey really weird? Because it looks good, you know, everywhere you put it, doesn't it? Which, who knew? Who would have thought that that would look good everywhere? But it kind of does. Oh, I don't know now. Got this piece here, which I mean we could then have like the grey and the grey. I mean, that's quite nice, isn't it? Or we could have it like that. Should we do that? I mean, you know, would not have really thought the grey was going to be a winner, but it's just one of those strange things that's, you know, going everywhere. So that one, and then we're just going to put this part down here. So, you know, we're being quite good because we're using things, you know, like the whole of them. We're not kind of like wasting stuff, are we? Oh, now I've put that on upside down. Oh, now it's covered in glue. Oh, and I've got my glasses on, so I don't know why I couldn't see that, but yeah, there we go. How pretty does that look? Loving these kind of eclectic mixes. They look really good, don't they? Right, okay, let's do something with these, because these have been floating about now for a bit, haven't they? So, yeah, should we do this? Or, I mean, that's quite nice, that section there. Or, I'm going to take this section here, so just going to cut it kind of like along there. Okay, actually, yeah, cut it along there, like that. Yeah, that looks really nice on there, doesn't it? So I'm just going to tear this off, you know. I mean, I just think that torn edge does look a lot nicer. What do you guys think? Do you like the torn edge? Do you use torn edges? You know, is it just me? Are you all sat thinking, oh gosh, I wish you'd leave that edge. It looked much better before. Or do you like it? Or, you know, maybe you mix in and sometimes you prefer it torn and sometimes not. You know, I'm just going to tear this part off the ticket to make it slightly smaller to go on there. So, yeah, that looks quite nice, doesn't it? Now, thinking it needs one more piece. Let's have a look and see what else I've got. I have got some other of that botanical paper. I mean, that's a bit of a departure, isn't it? This is quite browns and greens. So maybe what we could do is just even have this. Or maybe we should take another section here like we did on that last one. Let's just see. Let's just see how this would look. There we go. So, yeah, if I just cut that top part off. Oops, I've got hot glue threads now, which are now dragging it all around. So, sorry about that. Okay. So, yeah, if we have something like that. I mean, that's quite nice because it's just picking up the, you know, the flower from here as well, isn't it? So I'm liking how that looks, and I'm thinking one more layer, so just a ticket piece on here. Now, what colour ticket? Not sure now. Maybe this. Yeah, should we go for that one? I mean, there are blue ones in here, like I said, but to be honest, I'm not really too sure whether I want the blue ones. Okay. Like that. Oh, yeah, that looks lovely, doesn't it? So, yep, staple that one together. Now, just see, because this one has got, obviously, some pinks and colour, I'm thinking maybe one of those little rosebuds, just to pull in, like the pink from down here. It looks really pretty, doesn't it? So, that up there, oops, I think that might be upside down. Oh, do you know, it's really hard to see sometimes which way up these need to go. I think it needs to go that way. So, yeah, let's put that one down like that. And I'm thinking also maybe a little rosebud somewhere else as well. So, let's just take another one. Yeah, maybe like that. So, you can always kind of tie your bits in together by adding, you know, other similar things, you know, in amongst, if you see what I mean. So, you know, this obviously blue, but we've now tied it into the, you know, with the pinks by just adding the little rosebud. So, you know, that's quite a kind of nifty way to just pull your pieces together. So we've probably got time for just one more. So let's use this one. This one's kind of a pale blue. It's looking more grey, I have to say, since doing the coffee dyeing. It's kind of changed the colour of it. And, yeah, it's taken on a bit more of a grey effect. But it is actually pale blue. I'm thinking maybe mix that with this. Oh, my goodness, how yummy does that look? Yeah, loving how that looks. So I might just take this here. Like that, and then just, yep, tear that across there, like that. So this one's going to be a little bit of a skinny one, tall kind of skinny one, but my goodness, doesn't that look so pretty? I've just got this. Do we want to have this anywhere? Might just tear this down so it's slightly narrower. Okay. So, I mean, that's quite nice, isn't it? I quite like the, actually, I'm going to just tear this tight bit off there as well. Just because I want to have a bit more of that blue showing. So, yeah, more like this. That looks good, doesn't it? Now, do we want it that side or that side? I think that side, actually. And then a ticket. So, oh, what's going to be a good colour? Maybe that one? Or maybe that one, actually. So, yep. Oh, come on. Right. These are just really fun to make, these little bundles. You know, I mean, they're just kind of like, that. Well, they're not scrap paper bundles, really, but yeah, just junk journal, you know, bundles, I suppose, for popping into pockets and things. So, yeah, they're just really fun to make. And, you know, endless looks you can have with these. All sorts of different things. Because obviously when you start putting them together, you know, and layering them up, I think, you know, once you start pulling in all different bits, it's quite surprising the different things that suddenly spring to mind that you think, oh, shall I try this? Oh, shall I try that? Shall I try something else, you know? So there we go. Pop that one there. Oh my goodness, how lovely is this looking? Yeah, loving that. So again, just staple that just in that one sort of area. Like that. Now, my top is slightly longer, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to trim that across. Like that. Okay. Again, wondering if that same sort of grey colour lace is going to go on this. So, I don't know what's happened to that other one now. The one that I had been using. I must have dropped it. It must be on the floor, I think, now. Weird, because I was using it all the time, wasn't I? And now I can't even see it. Oh, and that's a shame, because that, I think, would have been much better for this one. So, let me just see if I can see it anywhere. Yeah, it must have just slipped off my lap, and I can't actually see it even now. Or it's buried over here. Well, how weird is that? I can't actually see it anywhere. Oh, I mean, you're probably screaming at the, you know, the screen saying, it's over there. You know, like a pantomime. It's behind you. You know, I mean, hopefully it's not behind me, but I mean, anything can happen here. But I don't know how it would have got behind me. Right, I've got this lace, which, oh my goodness, how gorgeous is this one? So this is like a sort of very pale kind of mint green, I suppose. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. But this is going to just bring that blue out, I think. Oops. And make it look more blue. So, you know, I said that it had gone like with a grey tinge since coffee dyeing. By putting this on, it's just going to bring it back to a bit more of a blue state, I think. So, just going to take this section off here. And we can just pop that at the top. So, again, just a little bit of hot glue there. So, yeah, brilliant scrap buster for using things like, you know, any little tiny pieces of lace that you've got. Because, you know, we really are using little fractions, aren't we? But those little fractions are, you know, surprisingly big impact, aren't they? You know, even though it's the tiniest piece ever, it is actually quite impactful, I think. Now, do we want just a small portion? So I'm just going to take some off of here. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe just there. So let's just pop this down. Now, I don't think I want to have any of like the rosebuds or anything on here. I'm going to kind of keep this more neutral. But that being said, let me just quickly glue this down at the very end with the hot glue, just because I noticed my glue, you know, I hadn't put it right the way along. I'm thinking for this one, I've just got this pearly trim, which again, this is on my website, in the trim packs. And I'm thinking maybe just a little pearl up there. So I've just taken literally one of those from that string, the string of pearls, and yeah, just pop that there. how gorgeous does that look? I mean, it just finishes that off really wonderfully, doesn't it? So, I mean, they're like a little scrappy pad, I suppose, but a little bit different, you know, in that, I mean, the scrappy pads tend to be sort of plainer papers, and definitely when I make mine, I kind of staple them right the way across. And these are just obviously now, you know, stapled just in the one place, really. So, just going to take that in. So, yeah, like that. There we go. Right, let's pull in the three? No, not necessarily the three. The few that we've done. So just turn that paper over so that you can see that better. So we have made that one, that one, that one, this one, this one, and this one. So yeah, aren't they just gorgeous? And they're wonderfully tactile, I have to say. They really feel lovely. So let me know below which one is your favourite. I have to be honest, my favourite I think is this one. Absolutely love those colours. Closely followed by this, I think, which again is very similar colours, isn't it? But yeah, let me know which one you like best. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.